themselves. But government is an independent player already. So would you willing or not? So I would vote, I would say, for decentralization of government and for strengthening of small business enterprises, for people owning their own capital, owning their own work, who don't exploit others but kind of produce products by themselves. So entrepreneurs and cooperatives. But will it work in the world we live in? How can we compete with corporations? How we can kind of compete using prices with the governments, with strong armies who can easily conquer these communities? Is there any working model in the real world without turning into Somalia where they have this civil war? So is there a really working alternative without changing the world totally, or maybe kind of stage by stage? Thank you very much.
Okay, try to give a few ideas, but honestly, if I had the answer to your question, a lot of problems of the world would have been resolved. And of course, it's something in process because, as we know, the answer can be given only by the real movements. Of course, the exchange of ideas are absolutely key. That the problem is to have real social forces who start to move and to experiment new way to produce together, to live together. And it's through those real movements of society that the world can really change. Of course, we need political transformation, revolution, shock, but the basis come always by the experience of the society. And the problem is the socialism we experiment in the Soviet era, as well as in the Social Democrat era in Europe, was really based in the idea that the state have to provide more or less everything. Education, work, housing, labor, whatever it is. It was a different system between the West and the East, but frankly, if you look at the example of the West Europe in the 60s, 70s, and not only Sweden, but also Germany, France, and so on, the state was extremely important and was providing a huge amount of work and benefits for the people. Today we know that the state is still useful. Who can open a school or a hospital if we have no state? And the state is also a way to do politics together, to decide the choice of the society. But at the same time, I'm totally sure that we have to build things who are out of the state, who are done by ourselves. And to do that, the example you gave were, in my opinion, very good, to give more power to communities, local entrepreneurs or individual people working together alone or with the others. But we have also experiments of huge construction of human beings who are as powerful as the big corporation. If you look at the knowledge production, for example, in the knowledge production, the internet and the culture of the free software change really the world day after day. Look at something like Wikipedia. I am sure that in Russia or in Ukraine, you have encyclopedia. But those encyclopedias were very expensive, reserved to the elite, very limited in the number of topics they had, even if they were big. When you look at Wikipedia today, every kid in the world, whatever his language, starts when he has a topic at school by looking at the Wikipedia page. And we know by scientific research that the quality of Wikipedia is not better, but not worse than the Britannica or the Encyclopedia Universalis in France, or whatever. It's the same level of quality, meaning that Wikipedia was able to provide to the entire world whatever the language that people are using, because it's translated in every language more or less today, a direct right to knowledge. And what is interesting with Wikipedia is that was done not by a state, not by a capitalism or private enterprise, but by you and me. It's the people who create Wikipedia. And this Wikipedia model can be translated in a lot of other aspects of knowledge. For example, in the map. Traditionally, the maps were done by the state for military reasons. You need a map to do war, and the state all built maps. But the market starts to enter the map as well. Look at the Google Maps. It's a private company, Google, who decided to create a big map. It would be useful if you have a mobile phone or whatever. It's useful. But you have a new map now, growing very quickly. The name is OpenStreetMap. is a Wikipedia of the map, and it's built by you and me. Meaning that we can imagine a model in which one we can combine what the state can give, but also the direct action of the people. In the sort of combination, look, here you have a lot of people who are teaching in the university. When you teach at the university or secondary school, it's the same thing. You are paid. When you publish an article today, it's the property of a journal who keep it for him and oblige the other university to pay it. Why not? And a lot of people start to do that, to give these articles, meaning this intellectual knowledge, to the entire world. And that changed totally the way in which when you look at the world. And we could also give a lot of examples in the nature, in the environmental commons, because it's the general term we are using. A forest is a common. Field, common field can be common, water, atmosphere, how to manage that. And the interesting thing is to realize that to manage water, we need the direct involvement of the community. And it's another way to imagine a world which is really collaborative, not at all in a competition of private ownership, but without having the state system imposing us what to do every day.